Long introduction. This is Bruno with his long introduction. I always I've heard of your name before, but I always thought it has something to do with the risk company in Rijeka.
No.
And now I realize it has nothing to do
No,
with
this
it.
is just the last name.
Yes, and they don't have that last name.
Okay.
Bruno is Ph.D. is the CEO of Lumen's Pay. I read it correctly, I hope. He is an entrepreneur, traveler, foodie, life lover, and consultant involved in a variety of projects. Like any business, his business has up and downs, which can be stressful, but he learns something new every day. He started the site, I guess that's
Lumen's Pay.
Pay, yes, because he believes in power of words. After all, what kept people out of the dark ages.
Yes.
Is our books. He's here to help by sharing all good and bad things he did in life that makes his today a happier person. This site showcases his success and failures, and as well as the actionable lessons from dozens of examples. This is about the experiments along the way, the journey, but it's also about building a future of a really happy life. You can steer your own happy life, and Bruno.
Okay, hi guys.
Thank you.
So, first of all, my name is Krunoslav, but for friends and family, Kruna. Today I will showcase you the project that I'm working on for, I think, last one year. I'm deeply involved in that project. It's called Dandelion. Actually, this is a new modern way of building the blockchain infrastructure. I don't know, guys, how many of you are in the blockchain? Someone? Okay, is this totally new for you? No? Okay, cool. So the project is Dandelion. I'll shortly tell something about myself. I'm Ph.D. in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. Also, I'm Digital Transformation Consultant, Web3 Consultant, Information and Technology Consultant. I have PMP certificate, and I wrote 2 books. One is 5G and Next Gen Consumer Banking, which I built banking system without banks. So this is basically banks as a service, which I strongly believe that it will happen in the next few years. And the second one is that it will be out on 13th of September this year. It's Digital Transformation Handbook, in which I described, together with my colleague Dr. Milan Puvacha, 20 business cases where digital transformation actually succeeded, in some business cases why it failed. So today I will showcase you what is the latest project that I'm working on. This is the one additional blockchain which has a totally different architecture, system architecture than the other one, the previous one that you heard, for example, Bitcoin, which is called the blockchain 1.0. Ethereum, which we can tell that is 2.0 blockchain, and then we have some devs building on the blockchain 3.0. So this is the centralization. I don't know if you heard how the centralization is done on the blockchain and what we need to do if you want, for example, to mint one coin, or if you want to make a consent with all the parties across the blockchain. So this is the old one, how it's done, and this is on the Dandelion, how we did it. Basically, we built the nodes, and those nodes are just interconnected with the other nodes, and those nodes just telling if we have some kind of new information, just the nearest one. So, for example, I minted additional token, or I build NFT, or I build some kind of infrastructure that I need to interconnect with all other nodes. I just notified all the big one, and those big one nodes just spread the word to others. It's totally different consent type. If you can see how it's done before, and now you can see how it's done in our blockchain. So this is called blockchain lattice actually. It's not blockchain, it's a block lattice, because all the information is spread just to the main nodes, and those main nodes just then forward those information to other nodes. So what we get with that? We get ultra fast consent, so basically multiple faster than we had before. So I will tell you how much transaction you can perform with the architecture that I just showcased to you. So this is the amount of transaction that we have in 1 second across the world on the networks from Visa and MasterCard. Actually, this is just Visa, but MasterCards and all other credit cards that they are performing some kind of transaction can handle up to 70,000 transactions per second. For example, Ripple is doing 1,500, Bitcoin is doing just 7 transactions per second. And then we have PayPal, which most of us are using. We are using around 190 transactions per second. So if we are putting in the landscape of all other blockchains that we have currently, and we are talking about the Ethereum 2.0, Ethereum 2.0 will do 100,000 transactions per second. If we are combine all these together, all these blockchains, we will get somewhere around 250,000 transactions per second that they can do combined in one moment. So the Dandelion is currently with this infrastructure, with this architecture, is supporting 250,000 transactions in a second, and this is just the beginning. We also found out the way that we can multiply this to 1 million transactions per second with optimizing the architecture and introducing new layers inside of the blockchain. So what we will achieve with that kind of speed? So we will have seamless customer experience. Okay, I said here 250,000, but it's possible to get it to 1 million. We will get higher security. We will get errorless coding environment. We will get high resilience and finalization under one second. So where we can integrate all those things? In digital currency, this is the first one. Entertainment, online shopping, workplaces, social media, digital humans or digital twin, actually, which is today one of the buzzwords in the digital transformation environment. Device independence, infrastructure, NFTs, marketplace, and all the things that we can currently use in Web 2.0 infrastructure, it can be just removed on the blockchain, on the new type of the blockchain. So we can operate across all other industries, but I think that the most business case that it will be used, it will be the financial institution. Or the things like credit score, reputation score, and things like that we are using every day in day-to-day activities, especially when we are conducting the business with the banking environment, insurance companies, or if we are doing the business-to-business, any kind of work. So this is a couple of phases, 3 actually phases that we divided our business cases when we started to build entire infrastructures. And first of all, in phase 1 we have one pilot project in the gaming industry. Also we tried to integrate in the Polygon network, which is most familiar if you want to build any kind of OpenSea, if you want to build any kind of NFTs. Decentralized finance, we have also a product on that, which is called Nexapin, and I'll showcase it a little bit later. And then we try to embed digital currency. So one of the projects that we are actually want to build is digital euro, and which will be connected directly to the euro. If you know about the stable coins, something, we have USDC and USDT, which is directly connected to the value of the USD dollar. So similar, we are trying to do something with digital euro. Of course, we need to wait regulations, we need to wait the law, but in the moment when the law and regulation are prepared, we want that we have technology that we can just go out. So second phase, we want that we take a part of online shopping, social media. So actually we spoke with one network, which is social network for the SMEs in the United States. It's called Wayne. And we want to build one part of functionality on decentralized platform, which will be actually the Dandelion. Concert and events, we see the opportunity that we can build NFTs based on like a ticketing system, that it will be connected directly to the person that actually bought that ticket. And then some kind of the marketplace. One of the marketplaces I'll showcase you later, that we can actually do that. So in phase 3, this is a little bit 5 years in the future, digital asset, workplace, NLP, and digital humans, actually digital twins. So we are planning to do that, but not currently, not in the next few years. Okay, so what is Dandelion? Dandelion is open, secure computation platform. It will be available to all the developers that they want actually to do some on the Dandelion. We will provide APIs, documentation, examples, and we will make one uniform way how to build application that it can be actually put on side of the Dandelion, that it can be then distributed to the world or to the end users. So how fast is Dandelion? I just told you how many transactions we can execute under the second. And we are able to do that because we have multiple layer infrastructure that we are using the Dandelion. So the layer 1 and layer 2 is the physical and the data link. We are in this part, but we are optimizing the network transport session, presentation, and application layer of the application that it will be actually run inside of the Dandelion. It's not only thing that we are planning to do. We already started to implement something which is called Dandelion Gateway. And in that Dandelion Gateway, we want that we can receive transaction from other blockchains. So especially from the most popular, Cardano, Solana, Optical, Avalanche, Polygon, and all other, so that we can actually be something which is called cross-chain for all other blockchains. So we need to have one centralized place that you can fetch and forward transaction from other blockchains. And we then thought that we can actually do the mapping on the smart contracts for example, Cardano or Solana, or our API, and then it will be cooked, melt, and those data that it will be redistributed inside of the Dandelion contract, and then it will be showed on the front end, which can be web, mobile, API, or some kind of the reporting. So this is in the basically the high overview architecture, what we are trying to do till the end of this year, because in the most, what we saw, a couple of the companies till now tried to do one blockchain that it will rule them all. So, but it's not so simple because we have so many different data input that we need to optimize those data and that we can cook them and then forward it further. So a lot of connectors, and actually we are doing the metric style connectors that it can be just mapped one-on-one smart contracting part or variables inside, and that we can then forward it further. So where are the roots of the Dandelion? Of course, we used some idea from the layer 1 and layer 2 blockchains. We used some part of how it's function architecture of the Bitcoin and then Ethereum, and then we improve it by optimizing all the protocols inside of it. And then we made our internal proof of concept for the consent among the points inside of the blockchain. So we are not using the proof of work because it's really energy consuming. We are not using the proof of stake, but we are using some part of those protocols. As I told you, the Dandelion is open source. We can modify it. We are, of course, we can also optimize Dandelion application, distributed application to use for top-up and pay application. For example, for transaction the money, transaction of the assets, transaction of the digital goods, NFTs, whatever. We have also the prototype of that application, which can be downloaded from the Dandelion website. So you can see how it's working, and also there is a link to the GitHub that you can actually download entire application. As I mentioned before, yes, we have a smart contracts. It's worked a little bit differently, and those smart contracts are using WebAssembly mechanism on the virtual machine. So it's called WASM mechanism, which is also built by internal team. Our team built that. So we didn't use any of the existing blockchains. We started definitely from scratch by building and incorporating highly sophisticated algorithms and mechanisms inside of our virtual machine. Virtual machine is done. It's now in the process of the testing, internal testing. We have the limit number of users that actually are doing some kind of prototyping of application, distributed application on it. And of course, if you are developers, if you want to enroll in that process, we are more than welcome. Just hit me on LinkedIn, and I will give you the access and explanation how you can build your own application. How Dandelion nodes get rewarded? So basically, you're familiar that if you are conducting any kind of work inside of the blockchain, you have something which is called gas fee that you actually need to pay for those transactions. In the Dandelion environment, we are doing very fair. So if you are utilizing more nodes, you will get highly rewarded. And if you are not utilizing any nodes, you will get just one small percentage of that gas fee just because you are supporting infrastructure. Now, I want to show you something which I'm really proud that we built, and it's called Visual Coding Environment. I'll show you two videos. One, it will be highly overview, and second, my colleague Peter just recorded something for you that you can actually see how it's working. So 1 minute. Let's try. This is our developer studio that we built from scratch. So we have a list of modules that it can be added on. Then we have some kind of drag and drop architecture. And we can build function, any kind of function. We can group those functions and then deploy it to do something. Compile it. Compilation is done inside of the ink code. And then it's put it on the server. And then it's compiled inside of the Rust, which is deployed on the blockchain. So this is the grouping mechanism. And now it's put somewhere on which we call on the marketplace. What we have done with that? Actually, we want that all those things that someone is built can be actually put it on the marketplace that some other person can reuse it. Idea we got from the WordPress. So basically, you have a lot of plugins inside of the WordPress. Some build this functionality, some build that functionality. You can go on the store, download the plugin, and put it inside of your website. So this is the main idea of what we wanted to do here on the Dandelion. So basically, to engage the community, to build as much as possible functionality that we cannot think now in that moment, but we want to put the ecosystem outside to the people that they can build something. In the next, I think, period, in time we will build also the payment system that you can actually, as a developer, can build some kind of the smart contract and that you can actually earn money by building functionality inside of the Dandelion. Okay, this is the first video. I will now show you the second one.
So this is the homepage for Dandelion app. Here there's my contract, for sample. Here we can add whatever node we want. There's a lot of choices, but here we'll just create a simple contract. Is basically just a function that returns the result of subtracting numbers. So we define a function, and while doing this, everything's been like generated. So return. So this is the function that's going to return. Function is going to be yes. Okay, and let's just add the numbers. Okay. And that's marked as explicit return. This is a compilable smart contract. We can also compile it on the cloud and export it as a separate Rust file. So this is the demo. Okay, there it is. This also, the whole export is being tied into the marketplace idea. So this is a live clickable demo for the marketplace where users will be able to download and later on purchase pre-made contracts from the community and/or the company. This also contains free and paid
what is the main idea behind that? I strongly believe that most of the people, they don't know how to write smart contract. But in the future, for example, you can build that use case if you want to buy and sell some assets, digital assets, or maybe the real assets. If you want to buy a house or flat, you can on the Dandelion, or whatever you will call it, you prepare the smart contract that you can download it from the base of the contracts, put your information, make identification by biometric or digital identity, and then in the moment when you pay the money to someone, the ownership of the house or any other assets will be transferred to you directly. It's a long way in the future, and I don't think so that it will be exactly for the assets like house, but maybe for the simple stuff, for the licensing, for the cars, or some kind of the smaller assets that actually you don't need any more notary office in the future or lawyer. You can build it online directly from smart contracting parts that we actually built here. So this is also currently it's not easy to build like that, so I wanted to make it more easier, but this is the first prototype that we actually built. We have some draft idea that it's drafted inside of the Figma, how it will look in the future, all these parts, because most of the people, they know what to connect with something, it's actually the same like you're writing, so it needs to be more easier. So this is the first step. The second step is the second iteration of the visual code editor. It will be deployed in the server, and it will be more easier. As I mentioned before, we have something similar, which is the marketplace. Now the marketplace, it can be also added functionality with our visual code editor, with additional functionality for the smart contracting part here. Also, you have description. If you can see, if you work with any kind of CMS system in your life, like Drupal, I don't know, Joomla or Magento or I don't know, WooCommerce, is similar. So we basically incorporate Web 2 functionality inside of the Web 3 functionality, which most people used actually in the last 20 years. And then we put functionality that we can also embed other programming languages that it will be maybe not distributed inside of the network. This is our next goal, that someone can actually write something in Python, in the C, in Java, and that it can be embedded inside of the smart contract and deployed on the network. It's a long process, but we now made the first fundamentals of that. Looks like this. Also, we built one business case based on the Dandelion network, and this is application which is called Effective, and it's built for the American market for the credit score industry. They don't have some kind of the banking environment that they can actually calculate the credit score, and the most important thing for any SMEs or small medium entrepreneurship in the United States is the credit that they can actually get from their bank. And based on the credit history, they are allowing to get something which is called net 30 or net 60 or net 90 account. What does it mean? It means that they can delay in the payment for 30, 60 or 90 days. So they can take some goods or services and that they can pay it later. But how to get this? They need to have the transactions in the future, in the past, that based on those transactions, if they paid on time, the credit score and reputation score is calculated. And all those transactions are written inside of the blockchain. So this application is currently in the test. The smart contracts are audited by the third-party companies that they are auditing those kind of things. And those kind of contracts that they are actually doing some business with the money, they need to be audited because yes, you are doing with the money and the bank needs to recognize those kind of transactions. So this is one of the cases. Factive, you can check it online. Dandelion, you can check it online. And yeah, this is me. If you have questions, I'm open here. Možemo i na hrvatskom. Možemo.
Kao prvo, dakle, nisam nešto previše u kripto space-u, razumijem osnovne koncepte i blockchain i tako dalje. Dakle, ok, sad je Dandelion, dakle, neka nova mreža, brža i tako dalje, vidimo use case je moguće. Kako sad, da kažem, iz te pozicije gdje ste sad, kako da se plasirate, dakle, da, ne znam, neko ko sjedi tamo u Hong Kongu, Australiji ili god već, da zna za vas, da počne raditi na tome i tako. Kako vidite tu
Evo ovako, prva stvar,
rešenje?
znači ok, Dandelion je samo ime. Isto kao što je bio WordPress ime. Mi prvo što želimo napraviti je engaged community, developere. Developeri su ti koji moraju prepoznati opportunity da mogu napraviti nekakav business case i da kroz taj business case mogu zaraditi nekakav dodatni novac. Znači prvo, zato smo rekli da smo open source, zato smo rekli da dajemo kompletnu infrastrukturu, sve akaunte, dajemo nekakve tokene, dajemo sve ono što možemo davati. Plus, zašto smo radili ovaj ovdje dio? Znači, ovo ovdje, zašto smo to napravili, tako da možemo i druge developere sa drugih blockchaina koji su tipa specijalizirani da rade tipa ne znam, na Cardano, na Solani, na Avalanche, da oni mogu raditi nekakve svoje smart kontrakte da ih mogu deployati na naš marketplace. Znači, prva ideja, engaging community. Kad budemo imali dovoljno jak community developera i kad budemo imali dovoljno jak community ljudi koji će nam reći šta smo sve zeznuli. Da se razumijemo, mi nismo najpametniji. Ovo je moja ideja bila prije godinu dana i kad sam čuo uopće koncept za Dandelion i kad sam vidio da je nešto novo, nekakav smart lettuce, znači block lettuce. Ja za block lettuce sam čuo prvi puta u 6. mjesecu prošle godine. I kad sam shvatio kolika je to brzina i koja su to brzina transakcije, shvatio sam da nešto imamo sad ovdje 5G, imamo transakcije koje su ultra brze, imamo secure. Ok, šta trebamo napraviti? Trebamo business case-ove i trebamo developere koji će zaista smisliti nekakav real time case, napravit će nešto, postaće to 10 ljudi koji to nešto treba i tako ćemo širiti. Da se razumijem, mi na ovome trebamo ništa zarađati. To je prva stvar, ali vidimo ogromni potencijal ako napravimo novi ekosistem. I ovo je nešto što su bile tipa ostali frameworks, recimo ako znate za Drupal, Drupal je došao prvo kao framework, pa je napravljeno milijardu komponenti, sad ga koriste od, ne znam, svjetskih vlada do Ujedinjenih naroda, da ne znam, svi ga koriste kao framework. To je ono što mi želimo napraviti sa Dandelionom. Znači, to je prvi korak engaging community. Kad to budemo napravili, kad budemo napravili business case-ove, tipa kao što smo napravili Factive ili kao što ćemo napraviti sa nekakav Afrogrow ili neke druge projekte, Nexafin, onda će ljudi, investitori i ljudi ne zanima koja je tehnologija. Oni žele da to bude jednostavno, da to bude brzo i da se nešto zaista može napraviti. Kako će se to napraviti, njega ne zanima. Većina ljudi ne zna kako radi automobil. Zna da sjedi na toči gore, ostaje ulje napravio, a vozi. To je ono što mi želimo napraviti, mora biti jednostavno.
Hvala.
Možeš jedno pitanje. Isto nisam kao ni kolega iz kripto svijeta, ali skoro sam bio na nekom predavanju gdje sam se malo upoznao sa osnovama i koliko recimo sada misliš da je problem za reputaciju ako se u stvari ne koristi blockchain ili Ethereum, ti poznati blockchain kojima svi vjeruju i koji su, kažem, ako je ta tehnologija, da kažem, from scratch. Da li to, ima neki, misliš da je to možda i problem u smislu da se to proda kao ideja dalje i da se to koristi?
Pa mislim da nema. Znači, ako svaka nova tehnologija na jednom trenutku bila je nova tehnologija. Baš zato što je nova tehnologija, mi ne idemo od prvo, idemo nekakav biznis model i biznis case gdje ćemo zaraditi hrpu novaca. Ne, mi želimo reći zajednici. Ljudi, ovo možete koristiti, dali smo vam alat, dali smo vam upute, dali smo vam video tutoriale i krenite raditi na tome. A što se tiče same sigurnosti, garantiram da smo sigurniji od Ethereum mreže, zato što imamo kompletno drugačiji consent sa transakcijama koje čuvamo, koje su puno sigurnije na nivou čak i od ovog Ethereuma 2.0 koji sad ulazi. Kad ti zajednica počne pozitivno pričati o tome, vjerujem da će to nas doći na nekakvu fazu zrelosti koja bi to trebalo, da čak i poslovi, veliki biznisi počnu, ako uzimate u obzir, ok, mogli bi nećemo raditi na Cardanu, ajmo to raditi na Dandelion mreži. Znači, opet kreće sve iz zajednice. I zašto ne želimo nikakve novac naplaćivati, zašto ne želimo zarađivati? Zato što smo sigurni da smo nešto zeznuli. 100% smo nešto zeznuli, ali ako mi skupimo određeni broj pametnih ljudi koji nam kaže, slušajte u sljedećoj iteraciji, ovoga bi trebali možda napraviti ovo ovako, smo tu našli. I to je opet nešto da slušamo dvosmjerno zajednicu, odnosno eksperte koji će zapravo to i koristiti. Mi smo dali samo nekakav okvir, kako to treba raditi, spojili smo to sa drugim blockchainovima, spojili smo to, imamo minimalni gas fee, znači čak recimo sa Polygon mreže, ako mintate nekakav NFT, bilo kakav, vi morate kupiti matik. Znači, ako morate kupiti matike i s matikom onda morate plaćati nekakav gas fee. Mi to ne želimo. Mi želimo da vam je gas fee, znači imate transakcija na ovome Dandelionu, mi vam želimo da je besplatno. Znači, da nemate gas fee. To je recimo još jedna stvar u blockchainu koju mi želimo maknuti. Zašto bi se na tom zaradilo? Ne morate, zaradit ćete na nekakvim drugima. Recimo zaradit ćete na transakcijskom modelu. Kad neko plaća cijelu transakciju, recimo ja vam šaljem financijsko nešto, ja ću uzeti 0,01% od te transakcije koja vam je instant. Recimo zašto bi mogao biti dobar business case za prebacivanje novca, isto kao s PayPala, s jednog account na drugog, ali PayPal u problemu što se baza podataka na jednom mjestu, nije distribuirana, znači podložena je security problemima. Koliko god je to sad u ovom trenutku nemoguće, ali zaista je u nekom trenutku moguće. Ali ako su podaci distribuirani po mreži, ti podaci su zaista onda nepromjenjivi, ne možete ih promijeniti ukoliko nemate kvantno računalo. Ako i dođe do nekakve promjene, znači se točno u kojem trenutku je ta promjena se nastavila, ko je autor napravio same transakcije. Tako da treba vrijeme. Mi imamo vrijeme, imamo dobre business case-ove, imamo funkcionalnosti od messaginga, znači kao što je kolega malo preko govorio o socketima, nešto slično imamo i mi interno. Imamo nekakve visual code editore gdje možemo ljude koji nisu tehničke branše, koji nisu baš u IT-u, da mogu sebi tamo naplikati nekakav pametni ugovor za nekakav business case, ili ako ne znaju naplikati da mogu otići na marketplace i skiniti ga, samo promijeniti podatke tipa ime, prezime i ne znam osobne podatke. Čak ako imaju nekakav wallet ID ili ako imaju nekakvu biometrijsku identifikaciju i te podatke možemo napraviti. Znači ovo je puno brže nego što do sada imate u nekakvom realnom svijetu. Naravno, ovo se sve ne može desiti u Europi, zbog same zakonske regulative. Ovo se može desiti u Bliskom istoku, Kini, Americi, Kanadi i nekakvim zemljama gdje nemamo tako jako veliku strogu zakonsku regulativu. Ja. Kolege developeri, imate li pitanje?
Could you just continue in English?
So please, okay guys, do you have any questions? From development part, how it's built something? Okay, if not, I think that I'm 3 minutes before the schedule. Okay, thank you.
Not according to my...